we'd been in a period of decline in the church for a long period of time. In the 1920s, there were about 300 members at church, and steadily that had dropped over the decades, and we were down to about 10 active members.
But the church had decided that if they were to keep going, it would probably be unsustainable and they'd have to eventually shut. So they decided to come up with like a 5-year plan, which involved getting a new minister, starting a new service, doing some other things, which they eventually did, and that led to our current pastor, Nick, coming to Chalmers.
I was serving in a church in another part of Melbourne in the south, and then I got to a point in my studies where I was finishing and I was being sent out into full-time paid ministry in a church. I wanted to stay in the church where I was at, and they wanted me to stay there too, but the people who made the decisions ended up sending me to this church. And so that's how I initially landed at Chalmers.
In our today's society with social media, people feel very disconnected from each other. People tend, like you go on the train, for example, and you just look at the people in the train and you see that everyone's on their phones. No one is talking to each other. We feel like people desire connection, but they found it in the wrong place. They found it on an online space where they are distant from people. So we're hoping that an in-person community here at Chalmers would feel that desire, but in an in-person way, the way that our bodies were made to connect with each other.
I think the people at Chalmers, generally there are a lot of different people, and some people are newer and some people have been around longer, but a general description of what people would say about Chalmers, people at Chalmers, is that they're very welcoming. I hear that a lot.
To everyone who comes through the door, regardless of what's going on in their lives, regardless of background, culture, we want people to know that they're welcome here and that we actually care about them. And it's also not like just a Sunday thing either. Like, we care about people during the week, and we chat to each other during the week. We have Bible studies during the week where we chat about how life's going.
One thing that we have started recently is a playtime group. It's a space for young families in the community who can bring their children to come in our space with toys freely given to share among kids. And we've seen a bit of success in that. There's lots of young families in the area who've walked past and joined us. So we're hoping that's a space where we can be a blessing to young families and that they'll see the value of our community here at church and perhaps be willing to join us.
Well, one of our our mission is to make disciples of Christ Jesus in Hawthorn East and beyond.
At Chalmers, our vision is to see 10% of Hawthorn in gospel-centred churches.
I was brand new as a pastor when I suggested that idea to the other leaders at the church. I don't think we would be any closer to having 10% than when I started at Chalmers 8 or 9 years ago. But it was helpful to have that goal to give us somewhere to aim for. So that the challenge was to try and get things on the upward and to get things growing and to get church to a point where it was attractive for a broad range of people.
There's not a huge amount of connection between the membership today and the historic membership. I think, as things change, it's hard for sometimes for people who are used to one thing to adjust to things that have changed. So we see them around, and there's no real bad blood with them, but that's how I describe it.
I wondered if we might change some of our perhaps our mission or some of our goals, but as I reflected, I thought they're still really good. So one thing I want to do is to keep pressing on and to keep reminding ourselves of our mission and the goals and the values that we have, and to keep trusting in God.
We have a goal to have 100 members. By the end of this decade, that's one of our goals.
I think we desire to see all the benches filled, that all God's people will worship together. We want to bring back the good old times.
We're a church that loves God and that takes God and His word seriously, and we're a church that loves one another.